Hi, I'm Karen Collins. Today I have Maura Harrigan with us to talk about work she's doing with cancer survivors and how outcome can be improved. Maura is the Yale School of Public Health and the dietitian working with the Survivorship Clinic at Yale Cancer Center. You concentrate in this work with them on teaching particular skills, everything from label reading to finding ways to work physical activity in and changing eating more vegetables and things. But it sounds like to achieve that in any of those behavior change pieces, you're talking about changing self-talk.
So understanding the stage of life that the woman's in, what their other responsibilities are, understanding the context of their life helps identify what their barriers are to establishing a healthy routine, and then helping them find ways to work around those barriers. But there's so many things that women deal with that when it's acknowledged, it helps them feel better about themselves and feel confident that they can make these healthy changes. So there are many concerns in women at this stage of life. Often they may be caring for a sick spouse, caring for elderly parents, have adult disabled children living at home. They have other illnesses that may not be well under control, like diabetes or hypertension. So helping them deal with those things is important, because those are often the obstacles to establishing a healthy routine. And what many women will say to me when we kind of go through where they are in their life and what they deal with on a day-to-day basis, they'll say, cancer is the least of my problems. It was treated, it's taken care of, but I still have all these other things that I'm responsible for. So
part of that too, though, is realizing, you were talking about the cancer journey as a trajectory, that actually their journey is not done just because treatment is done, and taking responsibility, what would you say, seeing themselves move from patient to an agent of change, that actually they aren't done their life as cancer survivors, so you've got to work that in too, right?
Right, we try to put that positive message in there, that when you're done with active treatment, and especially those around you who love you and they've been viewing you as a patient, that this is a great time to then start making these healthy changes, healthy eating, exercise, you start feeling better, and you've turned the situation around from where you were the patient to now you're an agent of change, of healthy behaviors, and then you have a ripple effect with those around you. And so they look at you and you see that look in their eyes, and you realize that they have confidence in your recovery, and you have confidence in your recovery, and you take that confidence and move forward in health. Eating smarter. I always say, eat smarter, not less, and moving more, and just feeling better. And when you feel better, dealing with everything else gets a little easier. And also that I make a great point of giving them permission to take care of themselves, and to take some time to reinvest some of that energy and love and attention that they have always been giving to others, and put some of that back to themselves. Scheduling time just for themselves, and telling them it's not being selfish, it's practicing good self-care. And as women, we need to keep telling each other this.
Yes.
So that's a powerful message too.
That is great. And for those people who are really battling the cancer-related fatigue, that's such a profound fatigue that makes everything else harder to do, can you run through some of the practical tips that you share with people to help them get past that?
Yes, we don't quite understand the cause of this fatigue. It's not that it's alleviated by more sleep, but there are things you can do to take the edge off of it. And one is eating on a regular schedule, so that you're maintaining your body's energy levels through food. So that's important. But women will say, I'm just too tired to eat, or I'm just too tired to cook. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could just be a healthy snack, a piece of fruit and a piece of cheese. That helps. So regular schedule of eating. And also limiting your sugar intake, because some women fall into that trap of eating a lot of sugar to get that boost of energy. But what happens then, you crash following that. So it really, ultimately, it makes the fatigue worse.
So it's like being on a roller coaster.
Exactly.
And you're trying to
Stay.
level the roller coaster as smaller bumps.
Right, keep the energy level steady. So staying away from that trap of falling into sugar for a quick energy burst. And then, again, getting outside in the fresh air and trying to go for a walk. The hardest thing is getting up and getting out the door. But then you find when you're out there, when you come back, you feel better. Even if it's 5 minutes out and 5 minutes back, and you just say to yourself, I can do this for 5 minutes, and you come back and you feel better. So the next time it's easier. When you say, I'll go out for 5 minutes, and then you're at 5 minutes, you say, you know what, I can do another 5 minutes, and then come back for 10 minutes. And then you've done 20 minutes, and you start feeling better. So you build upon that success and that feeling that when I do these things, I feel better. And that's your motivation to get over that inertia that the fatigue presents to you.
So the tendency, I imagine, not only for the cancer survivor, but for their family, when they say, oh, I'm so tired, is, well, then you should sit down, you should take it easy, you're doing too much. Actually, that's not the best message. Is that learning to identify when you really are pushing yourself, but when really the best answer is a 5-minute walk?
Exactly. When you're feeling that bad, let's just get outside for a while. Let's just take the dog out. Let's just walk to the corner and back. Now, you mentioned you're doing too much. That can be an issue, and that's something, especially with fatigue, that we encourage, especially women, that don't have that expectation that you're going to do everything you did before your diagnosis. It's a great time to renegotiate a lot of household chores and redelegate them and say, you know what, I don't want to do that anymore. Someone else can do it. And that's very free. So you can kind of pick and choose the things you want to do, and it gives you that freedom and that power to say, I don't like doing that, and I'm not going to do it anymore.
Reevaluate all the shoulds we carry around on our shoulders.
So we call that establishing the new normal.
Oh, I like that. What is it?
Who
says what's normal, right?
Exactly. So don't fall into the trap of the expectation of yourself and others that you're going to do everything that you did prior to your diagnosis. For some families, they feel like when mom resumes all those duties, then she's well, and she's all better. And we say, you know, you're better, and you don't have to do that to show them that you're better. You show them that you're feeling better by going out and exercising, by eating in a healthy way. And by the way, I'm not doing that chore anymore. You know, you can do that. And that's very powerful.
That's fabulous. I love that. Establishing a new normal. Love it. Well, thank you so much for this time today, Maura. I really appreciate it. It's been wonderful.
Thanks for having me, Karen.
And thank you for joining us. I hope you'll come back for another edition of Smart Bites.